with arrival of the new Albanian refugees, including myself, the organization, apart from celebrating 100 years of celebrating National Day, they helped quite a lot people in need, like a lot of refugees, and people who were involved were mostly Demis Duma, Isam Toptani, Patricia Nuji, who was always helping everybody who was in this country, and Doreen Logorezzi, I mentioned, she did a wonderful job, and I think after the war, we didn't have association, we didn't have a president, and they asked the committee, I think it was a proposal of Doreen Logorezzi, they asked Noel Malcolm to become president, honorary president of society association, and Noel Malcolm accepted it with great pleasure to become the president, and so this is on line with Aubrey Herbert, who did such a wonderful work for Albania. I could say very proudly, Noel Malcolm did more than Aubrey Herbert, as he wrote a wonderful book for Kosovo, and he helped everybody to understand the position of Kosovo in international stage. This was great and most valuable work somebody could have done until today. So, thank you very much. Some things what the Society of Shala, Dukajin Society Shala did for Edith Durham, so we can see. So Edith Durham to the Queen of the Mountain. So if you have any questions, I'm very happy to answer. I'm sorry, I didn't want to sound very boring, but I'll try to. But you're welcome to ask any questions.
Just to say also, thank you very much, that after the question and answer, our President Noel Malcolm will say a few words. But are there questions from the floor? Yes.
Well, I'm very interested in this association of Albania, of British Friends of Albania, and being one of the Jewish refugees whose life was saved by Albania, I've been wondering why this association has not also played that card, because there would have been, and since we are now doing this, which is many, many years afterwards, trying to tell the British Jewry what Albania did in saving so many thousand Jewish refugees' lives, and most of them were Muslims. So this is quite something unusual, and I have not seen anything in the activities of the British Friends of Albanian Association that plays that card.
In 1912, Moses Goster, who was a prominent Jewish scholar, he was a prominent member of the committee, and he actually tried to influence the association to help also Jewish community in Macedonia at that time, and he thought the best idea would be to have Macedonian Vlach community and involving Jewish community in the Balkans and to help them, and he did mention suffering of the Jews in Romania and in Serbia, how they were treated in 19th century and the beginning of 20th century. So basically it was quite difficult to explain to the general public in those days, because people thought Albania is a religion thing, it's a Muslim, Albanians mean it's no nationality. And Aubrey Herbert and Edith Durham, they explained to these people that this is no religion, this is a nationality, separate race, with a tradition, and they go back with Alexander the Great links, they used to explain. So it was quite difficult, but you're right about we should do more about getting involved with there's more work done in America by some Jewish American organization, which Mike Berisha will tell us more. So.
I also mentioned there was this event in the House of Commons last year or the year before. You were probably there, but it was extremely well attended.
But this association has lost a golden opportunity to help refugees from Albania in this country, because there would have been a large Jewish contribution from this country to help Albanians, had they known, because to be quite honest, I'm the first one that is going round Jewish synagogues in this country and shows the film Rescue in Albania. The Jewish communities were completely oblivious of what Albania, the friendly interface relations, which are quite unusual in this world. And when we showed the film in the House of Lords, Rescue in Albania, I was then asked to say, well, what would I suggest in the Israeli problem? And I said, well, what I would suggest is to send the president of the Albanian Friends of Israel, who is himself a Muslim, to go to Israel and to the Palestinians and say, well, we can live happily together. Why can't you? And I made a big success on that occasion. So there's still an unused help available.
Yes.
Can I just say a couple of words regarding the help from the Jews? We've had the so-called Kosovo Information Center in London during the 90s, and there were Jews who worked with us all along and helped a lot. And I have personally attended some synagogues, and we have received some help. Also, more help was received in the States, especially from senators like Lantos, who is now deceased. We get a lot of help from Elliot Engel, and they have been very influential within the Jewish society in general. But I think we can still help because we need recognition from Israel of Kosovo.
Are there any more questions to Bejtullah Destani, our speaker? Or comments? Right, well, very many thanks, Bejtullah, for a very stimulating talk. I hope we've got a recording of it. I saw somebody was, yes, that's brilliant, because that will be very useful. Thank you. If we could make sure that we keep a copy of that, because the history of the association is very well mapped out. Now, is Noel Malcolm here? I think, yes, Noel, would you like to have a seat as well?
Well, I wasn't planning to say anything this evening, but of course I do want to say thank you to Bejtullah for a really fascinating talk. Every detail in it was historically accurate, except for the very last sentence of his talk, which was completely over the top. But it's been suggested to me that I should just say something. This is a tiny footnote in comparison with 100 years of the history of the association. This is just a tiny recent footnote, but it concerns a long-standing member of the association that many people in this room will have known, and that is Philip Maddock, who died last week. He was a lovely man. I was slightly in awe of him when I first met him because, of course, I recognized him as a famous actor and thought, what's he doing here? I had seen him many times on the television. He was Inspector Bain in a splendid sort of police series that was a sort of gritty Welsh equivalent of Inspector Morse, and I thought actually much better. But he'd had a long career. He was a Shakespearean actor. He'd played King Lear. He played Lloyd George in the BBC's film, The Life and Times of Lloyd George. I don't know whether there was a scene with Ismail Chemal Bey, and if so, I don't know who played him. But he was a marvellous man and a loyal member of the association. I learned